by now you probably know that more than anything else, what's important to me is to understand things. And this is a little bit of a different video because it involves my efforts to try to understand these new regulations at YouTube. And I'm sure you've heard all about this on other gun channels and probably other channels. And what it amounts to is if I went to a store, for example, or a bricks and mortar establishment of any kind, and I was told that I wasn't welcome there, or what I had to offer had no value in that store or in that bricks and mortar location, I probably wouldn't be angry. I guess some people would be, but I wouldn't be. I would try to understand what it is that they think it is about me or my products that make them worthless in that location. So I've been on that kind of adventure for a little while, and in case you didn't follow what was going on, essentially the gun channels, or some of them, or at least mine, the videos that I made recently, say going back a couple months, were deemed to be like unacceptable for viewers or unacceptable for advertisers. And I always try to understand the logic of things, so I thought, well, wouldn't it be best to offer a product and then let the advertiser decide whether it's suitable for advertising and their customers? Because people are watching, so it seems strange to black out a video because it's not suitable, and yet if you didn't black it out, people would watch it and it would be suitable. So the logic of that escaped me, but again, these minds are greater than mine. I don't know what's going on. But the net result is that the videos that I produce, which I think are very benign, and I appreciate all your comments, by the way, supporting my channel. I think they're innocuous. I decided I would see whether maybe a video I could make would be acceptable, so you can check. I made a video on old scopes. I can't imagine a more boring subject, and yet that was also deemed to be unsuitable. So it's triggering some kind of algorithm. Something is making decisions, and although people apparently are involved in the decision-making process, I don't understand the logic involved. And as I said at the outset, if this were a physical store where you went to the store and were told you're not welcome here because of who you are or what you say, it would be a very unusual and I think unacceptable situation. But given that it's online and it's a digital situation, it seems different. But logically, it's not different. But the old scope video was rejected. But this is all supposed to lead to a point, and that is, I wanted to thank you for subscribing these past, whatever it is, few years that I've been making these videos. I think you know I set out with all my faults to make a few videos and probably don't have the best of anything. But I think they're interesting, and there are some things I probably know and can share just judging from the comments around the world. And I appreciated every subscriber and do. And now I guess we've shifted gears here, so it takes time and effort. It may not seem like it does, but it does. And I would ask for your support on Patreon. If you can just donate whatever on Patreon, and I'm not even sure how that works, but it can't be that difficult because people are supporting me there. That's important to me, and I think it's important to send a message to YouTube that there are people interested in these subjects, and just because some people think a subject should be banned or blocked or blacked out, I don't know whether that actually makes sense. But as I said, I probably think maybe differently about things from most people, and I don't want to offend anybody, and I guess YouTube must have their reasons for doing these things, although I don't necessarily agree with them. Anyway, please do try to join Patreon. I'd appreciate it. And YouTube continues. I keep putting my videos up, and it's a toss of the coin. What happens with them, I don't know, because I don't know the parameters, and I actually have dealt with them directly to try to understand why I'm not welcome in this store. But they don't tell you, so like I said, I'd be glad to change my clothing or what I'm saying or how I'm saying it, but they won't say what it is, and I'm not sure they know. It's probably some kind of algorithm that was designed for some purpose. In any event, that's a lot of words about a simple subject. So if you like these videos, and I'm happy making them, there are significant costs associated with producing anything like this, as you all know. So try to set aside a moment and go into Patreon, figure out what needs to be done there, and give me a hand when you can. And on the table I've got a stag arms, which is pretty amazing if you think about it. I don't usually have these kinds of guns, but that'll be my next video. So again, thank you for everything you've done, and in particular I want to thank the people that have stuck with me on Patreon. My producer showed me the number of people that have stuck with me for a long time, and I don't acknowledge you enough. It's not that I don't appreciate everything that you're doing. I do. I just don't get around to saying it. So today I am getting around to saying it. Thank you very much, and I hope more of you can, like I said, help me out on Patreon. It's important for me to mention that not only have I benefited from support on Patreon, but quite a few of you have donated directly on PayPal. And this has been huge, as I said, for the Patreon people. Thank you for donating on PayPal. And if you're more comfortable doing that, that's fantastic. Again, I suffer from kind of a technical deficiency. I'm not sure how to do it, but whether you're helping out on Patreon or on PayPal, please try to figure out how to do it, and it's much appreciated. These things make a big difference. Thanks again. Take care.